Trump's press secretary, the new press secretary, was in the building and she was cooking. All right. She also provided a lot of clarification on what programs were no longer going to be funded because there's a lot of misinformation going on all of these social media sites. I seen a guy admit to lying on the Trump administration about canceling child support and or for the man to actually be able to get the taxes and the tax returns if he is the one that paid child support. You had guys everywhere going crazy, rejoicing, running around, acting like Trump actually said it. It is so much misinformation, okay? So what we did was we wanted to go straight to the source. We wanted to go straight to the source. We want to hear from the press secretary on behalf of the president of what exactly is happening and what funding is getting cut and what are the expectations for this new administration now that we now have a real president in office. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let's rock.
Caroline, a question that we've asked your predecessors of both parties in this job. When you're up here in this briefing room speaking to the American public, do you view yourself and your role as advocating on behalf of the president or providing the unvarnished truth that is, not to lie, not to obfuscate to the American people?
I commit to telling the truth from this podium every single day. I commit to speaking on behalf of the President of the United States. That is my job. And I will say it's very easy to speak truth from this podium when you have a president who is implementing policies that are wildly popular with the American people. And that's exactly what this administration is doing. It's correcting the lies and the wrongs of the past 4 years, many of the lies that have been told to your faces in this very briefing room. I will not do that. But since you brought up Truth Seek, I would like to point out, while I vowed to provide the truth from this podium, we ask that all of you in this room hold yourselves to that same standard. We know for a fact there have been lies that have been pushed by many legacy media outlets in this country about this president, about his family, and we will not accept that. We will call you out when we feel that your reporting is wrong or there is misinformation about this White House. So yes, I will hold myself to the truth, and I expect everyone in this room to do the same.
And Carol,
are we already cooking or are we already cooking? She said, listen, we going to call you out and you have full authority to be able to call. Is that why Jim Acosta retired yesterday from CNN? Jim Acosta was getting demoted and then he rage quit on. Oh, Jim Acosta on CNN. He was the one that actually got his press pass revoked when Trump was in office the first time. And then he rage quit just yesterday live on CNN and said that he was going to go over to Substack and do his own thing. Let's continue.
Just on a substantive question, yesterday, the White House Office of Management and Budget directed across the board freeze, with some exceptions for individual assistance, we understand, to federal grants. It's caused a lot of confusion around the country among Head Start providers, among providers services to homeless veterans, Medicaid providers, states saying they're having trouble accessing the portal. Could you help us clear up some of the confusion, give some certainty to folks? And also, is that uncertainty, how does that uncertainty service the president's voters?
Well, I think there's only uncertainty in this room amongst the media. There's no uncertainty in this building. So let me provide the certainty and the clarity that all of you need. This is not a blanket pause on federal assistance and grant programs from the Trump administration. Individual assistance, that includes, I'm not naming everything that's included, but just to give you a few examples, Social Security benefits, Medicare benefits, food stamps, welfare benefits, assistance that is going directly to individuals will not be impacted by this pause. And I want to make...
So, for everybody that's out there lying and saying that, oh my God, my Social Security check not going to come, Medicare is paused, food assistance, Section 8, yes, we still subsidizing your raggedy lifestyle. And that's not for everybody, because I know that it's a lot of people that actually paid into Social Security, and so they deserve their paycheck, even though we're operating a Ponzi scheme, because the people today are basically funding the people of yesterday. And that's just the way that it go. We taking care of, we robbing people, that we getting robbed in order to make sure that everybody else is taken care of. All right. So that's number one. Number one is they're very, very clear in that nothing is being paused on taking care of outside of Social Security and some of these other things that people deserve. Your Medicare, your Medicaid, your Section 8 housing, your food stamps, all of that stuff, you still gonna get your check. You still gonna be able to pay your landlord. You still gonna be able to keep your houses with your roaches in it. All right? Okay? Very clear, straight to the point. Not all of this lying and finessing and telling people what they want to hear like the last press secretary. What was her name? Karine Jean-Pierre? Not like the Biden administration. It's not a blanket pause on everything. But she then goes on to tell you what they will be pausing as far as funding.
Make that very clear to any Americans who are watching at home who may be a little bit confused about some of the media reporting. This administration, if you are receiving individual assistance from the federal government, you will still continue to receive that. However, it is the responsibility of this president and this administration to be good stewards of taxpayer dollars. That is something that President Trump campaigned on. That's why he has launched DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency, who is working alongside OMB. And that's why OMB sent out this memo last night, because the president signed an executive order directing OMB to do just this. And the reason for this is to ensure that every penny that is going out the door is not conflicting with the executive orders and actions that this president has taken. So what does this pause mean? It means no more funding for illegal DEI programs.
If you are a part of diversity, equity, and inclusion programs and you was getting your funding just because you was a black person that was out protesting on the street for Black Lives Matters, the party is over.
It means no more funding for the Green New scam that has
If you were a part of the Green New scam, which they then rebranded as the Green New Deal, and you a tree hugger, the party is over.
cost American taxpayers tens of billions of dollars. It means no more funding for transgenderism and wokeness across our federal bureaucracy. And
if you are a person that thought that we was going to continue to fund your transition in prison on the behalf of the federal government, like Kamala Harris was advocating for during the presidential election, we not funding transgenderism and diversity, equity, and inclusion anymore. Oh, you still get your Medicare and Medicaid. You still get your Social Security check. You can still get your food stamps. We not funding your transitions. I'm not really sure where we disagree at. We're not funding transgenderism. You want to know more what else they're not going to fund? She'll give you some more examples.
Agencies, no more funding for Green New Deal social engineering policies. Again, people who are receiving individual assistance, you will continue to receive that. And President Trump is looking out for you by issuing this pause because he is being good steward of your taxpayer dollars.
Thanks, Caroline.
Sure.
How long
I don't
is this
really understand
pause
what the
going to
disagreement
last,
is.
and how is the Trump administration recommending that organizations that rely on federal funding make payroll, pay their rent in the meantime?
It is a temporary pause, and the Office of Management and Budget is reviewing the federal funding that has been going out the door. Again, not for individual assistance, but for all of these other programs that I mentioned. I also spoke with the incoming director of OMB this morning, and he told me to tell all of you that the line to his office is open for other federal government agencies across the board, and if they feel that programs are necessary and in line with the president's agenda, then the Office of Management and Budget will review those policies. I think this is a very responsible measure. Again, the past 4 years, we've seen the Biden administration spend money like drunken sailors. It's a big reason we've had an inflation crisis in this country, and it's incumbent upon this administration to make sure, again, that every penny is being accounted for honestly.
Why impose this pause with so little notice? Why not give organizations more time to plan for the fact that they are about to lose, in some cases, really crucial federal funding, at least for a period of time?
There was notice. It was the executive order that the president signed. There's also a freeze on hiring, as you know, a regulatory freeze, and there's also a freeze on foreign aid. And this is, again, incredibly important to ensure that this administration is...
These countries going to have to come up with their own bag. We not going to continue to fund y'all degeneracy. We're not going to continue to fund y'all genocides. We're not going to continue to fund y'all wars. We're not going to continue to give y'all money. We're not giving American taxpayers. We close. The Office of Administration for the United States of American Taxpayers continuing to give money away and throw it in the trash. It's over. It's closed. It's over. You know what I was thinking about? Hold on. Let me pause for a minute. You know what I was thinking about? I was thinking about all of the people that were out here telling y'all and trying to give y'all a game on how to get government contracts. I wonder how they're going to be affected. Some people that's out here getting the bag, they you know, all of the ones that was selling y'all, hey, y'all, listen, I could teach y'all how to get government contracts because Biden is giving away money like it's no tomorrow. I wonder how they gonna be affected. Remember when the hustle was selling y'all on the idea of getting into real estate and getting hard money loans so you could be a flipper? Yeah, that didn't go so well for you, did you? Remember when the hustle was telling y'all that y'all need to go and buy your own truck or go get box trucks so you could take advantage of what was going on in the economy? Yeah, that didn't work. Anytime people are not giving you long-term advice, basically that allows for you to be able to benefit 10 years from now, it's going to be a rough go for you. It's going to be a rough go for you. I wonder how people are going to be affected with that. Let's continue.
Taking into consideration how hard the American people are working, and their tax dollars actually matter to this administration. You know, just during this pause, DOGE and OMB have actually found that there was $37 million that was about to go out the door to the World Health Organization, which is an organization, as you all know, that President Trump, with the swipe of his pen in that executive order, is no longer wants the United States to be a part of. So that wouldn't be in line with the president's agenda. DOGE and OMB also found that there was about to be 50 million taxpayer dollars that went out the door to fund condoms in Gaza.
They was just throwing around money like it wasn't no tomorrow. If you expect for me to believe that it's not people behind this that's just getting filthy rich off the Biden administration, y'all really, honest to God, really need to go in your prayer closet and figure it out. 50 M's, 50. When I first heard that, I said, wait. Down there in Houston and Atlanta, they down there busting it down for a real one, and they giving 2-for-1 diseases. You can get herpes and chlamydia and one good piece of boxelitis. You can get both herpes and chlamydia right on down there in Houston. Right on down there. Go on down there and see. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. You want 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Oh, sold. For $40, you get herpes and chlamydia, and you get to get her pregnant, and the kid gonna come out half blind because they was born with herpes in their eyes. And we're sending $50 million out the door, and y'all was complaining about the Department of Government Efficiency doing their job because they going through with a fine-tooth comb and trying to fill out who is out here robbing us. If you're telling us that we got to continue to fund transgenderism, that's why your taxes are so high, because you giving $50 million for them to send some condoms to Gaza. Y'all should be absolutely you know why you should be mad at the Biden administration? You should be mad at the Biden administration because for the same reason that you would be mad at your cousin if they borrow $50 from you, but then they go out there and party and they keep telling you they ain't got your money. What? You were struggling to pay your bills last month. You don't even have insurance. And you got to make up a fake insurance tag in order to go and renew your tags. But you made sure that you gave them $150, $200 because they said they needed it for an emergency. And then when they got paid next week, when they said that they was going to pay you back, you never heard from them. We be mad in the mug when people rob us that's right next to us for $50 or $100. Y'all paying $30,000, $40,000 in taxes, and that ain't even including property taxes, bag tax, sales tax, the black tax. You know what the black tax is. The black tax is when you become successful, but most of the other people inside of your family is dusty, and now they feel the need to be able to pull on you in order to make sure that they taken care of because you're the only one that did the right thing and you wasn't busting it down for a real one. And so now you got to take care of everybody else's bad habits inside of the family. We taxed. I'm taxed to death. I'm out taxed. I'm overly taxed. I don't have no more for you, Willis. You're going to have to get it out the mud like everybody else, or you're going to have to go and live with the migrants. We be mad at the person that's next to us for $200, $300, but you're going to let Biden administration rob y'all and tell you that you ain't paying your fair share? You know how much you paid in taxes in your lifetime all the way up to this point? If you're 40, 50 years old, it's a strong possibility that you done probably paid almost $1 million in taxes. $1 million. You know what I could do with $1 million? You know what Box is going for? Cheap. And you giving $50 million for condoms in Gaza. You don't even know how to spell Gaza. G-A-S-A. Point to Gaza on the map. Point to Gaza on the map. You don't even know where it is. Right there. You can't even find your way home without using the Waze, Google Maps, or Apple Maps. But you giving money over there to Gaza. And y'all cool with it. You was going to vote for that. I vote to take care of the people over in Gaza. I want my taxpayers to be used, my tax dollars to be used good. You don't even know where it is on the map. Can't spell Gaza. Don't even know what a person from Gaza look like. If a person from Gaza taps you on your shoulder today, you will say, you must be Mexican. What is a Gazian? What does a Gazian look like? Somebody tell me. I'm a C student. I need to know, what does a Gazian look like? I want to know what a Gazian looks like because I want to know where my taxpayer dollars was going during this last administration. Who from Gaza? What did the Gaza girls look like? Because I feel like I'm owed some reparations from Gaza. I feel like I'm owed some reparations from Gaza. That's my take on it. But you know me, I'm a C student, so I don't know no better. Let's continue.
That is a preposterous waste of taxpayer money. So that's what this pause is focused on, being good stewards of tax dollars.
One, on the freeze in federal funding, who advised the president on the legality of telling government agencies that they don't have to spend money that was already appropriated by Congress?
Well, as the OMB memo states, this is certainly within the confines of the law. So White House counsel's office believes that this is within the president's power to do it, and therefore he's doing it.
Okay, so they disagree with lawmakers who say that they don't have the power to freeze this funding.
Again, I would point you to the language in the memo that clearly states this is within the law.
And on what happened on Friday night, the administration fired several inspectors general without giving Congress the 30-day legally required notification that they were being fired. I think only 2 were left at DHS and the DOJ. And then yesterday we saw several prosecutors, I believe 12, fired from the Justice Department who worked on the investigation.
Let's do this. Let's do this. Because look, I cook every single day. It ain't a day that y'all come to the Millionaire Morning Show where I don't put on my AD shirt and we cook. At the very least, I need y'all to hit a like for the algorithm. I need y'all to subscribe to the channel, and you need to send this into one friend. One friend. Every day, this is the best show on the internet. There is no show better than what we do. The production quality, A1. Studio, out of this world. Content, hitting. Everything It's real-time improv, no pre-plan, no nonsense. We just have a good time and we put the medicine inside of the candy. If you are not recommending this to your friends, if you not telling Gam, I know you liberal, but it's a guy over here that's gonna make you laugh, he gonna make you cry, and he gonna make you angry all at the same time because he know that you a liberal, then you need to make sure that you send this to Gam because ain't nobody doing it better than the Millionaire Morning Show, and that's a fact.
Investigations into the president. As you know, they are career prosecutors, therefore they are afforded civil service protections. How is the administration deciding which laws to follow and which ones to ignore?
So it is the belief of this White House and the White House counsel's office that the president was within his executive authority to do that. He is the executive of the executive branch, and therefore he has the power to fire anyone within the executive branch that he wishes to. There's also a case that went before the Supreme Court in 2020, Scala Law LLC versus the Customs, Bureau Protection. I would advise you to look at that case, and that's the legality that this White House was resting on.
So you're confident that if they bring lawsuits against you, those prosecutors who were fired, that they will succeed?
We will move forward.
And did he personally direct this, given they worked on the classified documents investigation and the election interference investigation?
This was a memo that went out by the Presidential Personnel Office, and the president is the leader of this White House, so yes.
I do want to go to you first, Daniel Dale.
Shout out to her. I think that this is probably one of the best press secretaries that we've seen in a long time. She was citing case law. She was literally showing y'all where y'all tax dollars was going. And she also provided clarification on what was being cut and what was still being funded. Let me give her a round of applause. Shout out to her. Shout out to her.